Hello, ladies, and welcome to our new Bible reading series. I'm Cindra Enlow from HeavenlyPlace.com, and this year, as we read through the Bible, we'll explore God's incredible story of love and redemption. If you're looking for a Bible reading plan that's simple and doable, this is it. So let's get started and discover the heart of God together, one chapter at a time. Hello, ladies, and welcome back to our one-year Bible reading plan. This is week 39, day 4. And our scheduled reading for today is Esther chapters 8, 9, and 10, and Ezra chapters 7 and 8. So we're going to finish Esther's story today by seeing that in chapter 8, the king gives Esther and Mordecai permission to write a new decree allowing the Jews to defend themselves from the attack that they're about to experience. And this is because the original law that Haman wrote couldn't be undone. But this new one gave the people hope and permission to defend themselves as they wouldn't have been able to do before. In chapter 9, we see the Jews fight back against their enemies and they're victorious. And the day that was meant for their destruction became a day of deliverance. And it's celebrated as the Feast of Purim. And it's a time when the Jewish people remembered how God turned things around for them. And then chapter 10 is a very short chapter. It's just simply saying that Mordecai rose to second in command under King Ahasuerus, and he was honored among the Jews for seeking the good of his people. Then we return to the book of Ezra. Well, in chapters 7 and 8, we see Ezra, the priest and scribe, as he's granted permission by King Xerxes to return to Jerusalem, and he leads a group of exiles back to the land. Ezra is known for his devotion to God's word and for teaching others to follow it. He fasts and prays before the journey, and he trusts God to protect them. And it's worth mentioning that if you'll remember, Esther had asked the people to fast and pray before she entered her enemy's camp, so to speak. And there's just something to be said about God honoring a true fast and true prayer. And here's where we see the heart of God in this reading. We see that he honors faithfulness, whether it's Esther risking her life, Mordecai standing firm, or Ezra returning to rebuild and teach. God preserves his people, and he provides leaders who desire to do his will. Okay, ladies, let's get started on our reading today. Esther chapters 8, 9, and 10, and Ezra chapters 7 and 8.
The Book of Esther. Chapter 8. That day the king gave all the family of Haman, the hater of the Jews, to Esther the queen. And Mordecai came before the king, for Esther had made clear what he was to her. And the king took off his ring, which he had taken from Haman, and gave it to Mordecai. And Esther put Mordecai over the family of Haman. Then Esther again came before the king, falling down at his feet, and made request to him with weeping, that he would put a stop to the evil purposes of Haman the Agagite and the designs which he had made against the Jews. Then the king put out the rod of gold to Esther, and she got up before the king. And she said, "If it is the king's pleasure, and if I have his approval, and this thing seems right to the king, and I am pleasing to him, then let letters be sent giving orders against those which Haman, the son of Hammedatha the Agagite, sent out for the destruction of the Jews in all divisions of the kingdom. For how is it possible for me to see the evil which is to overtake my nation? How may I see the destruction of my people?" Then King Ahasuerus said to Esther the queen and to Mordecai the Jew, "See now, I have given Esther the family of Haman, and he has come to his death by hanging, because he made an attack on the Jews. So now send a letter about the Jews, writing whatever seems good to you, in the king's name, and stamping it with the king's ring, for a writing signed in the king's name and stamped with the king's ring may not be changed." Then at that time, on the 23rd day of the 3rd month, which is the month Sivan, the king's scribes were sent for, and everything ordered by Mordecai was put in writing and sent to the Jews and the captains and the rulers and the chiefs of all the divisions of the kingdom from India to Ethiopia, 127 divisions, to every division in the writing commonly used there, and to every people in their language, and to the Jews in their writing and their language. The letters were sent in the name of King Ahasuerus and stamped with his ring, and they were taken by men on horseback, going on the quick-running horses used for the king's business, the offspring of his best horses. In these letters the king gave authority to the Jews in every town to come together and make a fight for their lives, and to send death and destruction on the power of any people in any part of the kingdom attacking them or their children or their women, and to take their goods from them by force, on one day in every division of the kingdom of Ahasuerus, that is, on the 13th day of the 12th month, the month Adar. A copy of the writing, to be made public as an order in every division of the kingdom, was given out to all the peoples, so that the Jews might be ready when that day came to give punishment to their haters. So the men went out on the quick-running horses used on the king's business, wasting no time and forced on by the king's order, and the order was given out in Shushan, the king's town. And Mordecai went out from before the king, dressed in king-like robes of blue and white, and with a great crown of gold and clothing of purple and the best linen, and all the town of Shushan gave loud cries of joy. And the Jews had light and joy and honor. And in every part of the kingdom and in every town, wherever the king's letter and his order came, the Jews were glad with great joy, and had a feast and a good day. And a great number of the people of the land became Jews, for the fear of the Jews have come on them. Chapter 9. Now on the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month Adar, when the time came for the king's order to be put into effect, on the very day when the haters of the Jews had been hoping to have rule over them, though the opposite had come about, and the Jews had rule over their haters, on that day, the Jews came together in their towns through all the divisions of the kingdom of Ahasuerus, for the purpose of attacking all those who were attempting evil against them, and everyone had to give way before them, for the fear of them had come on all the peoples. And all the chiefs and the captains and the rulers and those who did the king's business gave support to the Jews, because the fear of Mordecai had come on them. For Mordecai was great in the king's house, and word of him went out through every part of the kingdom, for the man Mordecai became greater and greater. So the Jews overcame all their attackers with the sword and with death and destruction, and did to their haters whatever they had a desire to do. And in Shushan the Jews put to death 500 men. They put to death Parshandatha, Dalphon, Aspatha, Poratha, Adalia, Aridatha, Parmasta, Arizai, Aridai, and Vasatha, the 10 sons of Haman the son of Hammedatha, the hater of the Jews. But they put not a hand on any of their goods. On that day the number of those who had been put to death in the town of Shushan was given to the king. And the king said to Esther the queen, the Jews have put 500 men to death in Shushan, as well as the 10 sons of Haman. What then have they done in the rest of the kingdom? Now what is your prayer? For it will be given to you. What other request have you? And it will be done. Then Esther said, if it is the king's pleasure, let authority be given to the Jews in Shushan to do tomorrow as has been done today, and let orders be given for the hanging of Haman's 10 sons. And the king said that this was to be done. And the order was given out in Shushan, and the hanging of Haman's 10 sons was effected. For the Jews who were in Shushan came together again on the 14th day of the month Adar and put to death 300 men in Shushan, but they put not a hand on their goods. And the other Jews in every division of the kingdom came together, fighting for their lives, and got salvation from their haters and put 75,000 of them to death, but they did not put a hand on their goods. This they did on the 13th day of the month Adar, and on the 14th day of the same month they took their rest, and made it a day of feasting and joy. But the Jews in Shushan came together on the 13th and on the 14th day of the month, and on the 15th day they took their rest, and made it a day of feasting and joy. So the Jews of the country places living in unwalled towns make the 14th day of the month Adar a day of feasting and joy and a good day, a day for sending offerings one to another. And Mordecai sent letters to all the Jews in every division of the kingdom of Ahasuerus, near and far, ordering them to keep the 14th day of the month Adar and the 15th day of the same month, every year, as days on which the Jews had rest from their haters, and the month which for them was turned from sorrow to joy, and from weeping to a good day, and that they were to keep them as days of feasting and joy, of sending offerings to one another and good things to the poor. And the Jews gave their word to go on as they had been doing and as Mordecai had given them orders in writing, because Haman, the son of Hammedatha the Agagite, the hater of all the Jews, had made designs for their destruction, attempting to get a decision by pure, that is, chance, with a view to putting an end to them and cutting them off. But when the business was put before the king, he gave orders by letters that the evil design which he had made against the Jews was to be turned against himself, and that he and his sons were to be put to death by hanging. So these days were named Purim, after the name of Pur. And so, because of the words of this letter, and of what they had seen in connection with this business, and what had come to them, the Jews made a rule and gave an undertaking, causing their seed and all those who were joined to them to do the same, so that it might be in force forever, that they would keep those 2 days, as ordered in the letter, at the fixed time every year, and that those days were to be kept in memory through every generation and every family, in every division of the kingdom and every town, that there might never be a time when these days of Purim would not be kept among the Jews, or when the memory of them would go from the minds of their seed. Then Esther the queen, daughter of Abihail, and Mordecai the Jew, sent a second letter giving the force of their authority to the order about the Purim. And he sent letters to all the Jews in the 127 divisions of the kingdom of Ahasuerus, with true words of peace, giving the force of law to these days of Purim at their fixed times, as they had been ordered by Mordecai the Jew and Esther the queen, and in keeping with the rules they had made for themselves and their seed, in connection with their time of going without food and their cry for help. The order given by Esther gave the force of law to the rules about the Purim, and it was recorded in the book. Chapter 10. And King Ahasuerus put a tax on the land and on the islands of the sea. And all his acts of power and his great strength and the full story of the high place which the king gave Mordecai, are they not recorded in the book of the history of the kings of Media and Persia? For Mordecai the Jew was second only to King Ahasuerus, and great among the Jews and respected by the body of his countrymen, working for the good of his people, and saying words of peace to all his seed. The Book of Ezra. Chapter 7. Now after these things, when Artaxerxes was king of Persia, Ezra, the son of Seraiah, the son of Azariah, the son of Hilkiah, the son of Shallum, the son of Zadok, the son of Ahitub, the son of Amariah, the son of Azariah, the son of Meraioth, the son of Zerahiah, the son of Uzzi, the son of Buki, the son of Abishua, the son of Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the chief priest. This Ezra went up from Babylon, and he was a scribe, expert in the law of Moses which the Lord, the God of Israel, had given, and the king, moved by the Lord his God, gave him whatever he made request for. And some of the children of Israel went up, with some of the priests and the Levites and the music makers and the doorkeepers and the Nethinim, to Jerusalem, in the 7th year of Artaxerxes the king. And he came to Jerusalem in the 5th month, in the 7th year of the king's rule. For, starting his journey from Babylon on the 1st day of the 1st month, he came to Jerusalem on the 1st day of the 5th month, by the good help of his God. For Ezra had given his mind to learning the law of the Lord and doing it, and to teaching his rules and decisions in Israel. Now this is a copy of the letter which King Artaxerxes gave to Ezra, the priest and the scribe, who put into writing the words of the orders of the Lord, and of his rules for Israel. Artaxerxes, king of kings, to Ezra the priest, scribe of the law of the God of heaven, all peace. And now it is my order that all those of the people of Israel, and their priests and Levites in my kingdom, who are ready and have a desire to go to Jerusalem, are to go with you, because you are sent by the king and his 7 wise men, to get knowledge about Judah and Jerusalem, as you are ordered by the law of your God which is in your hand, and to take with you the silver and gold freely offered by the king and his wise men to the God of Israel, whose temple is in Jerusalem, as well as all the silver and gold which you get from the land of Babylon, together with the offering of the people and of the priests, freely given for the house of their God, which is in Jerusalem. So with this money get with care oxen, sheep, and lambs, with their meal offerings and their drink offerings, to be offered on the altar of the house of your God, which is in Jerusalem. And whatever seems right to you and to your brothers to do with the rest of the silver and gold, that do, as may be pleasing to your God. And the vessels which have been given to you for the uses of the house of your God, you are to give to the God of Jerusalem. And whatever more is needed for the house of your God, and which you may have to give, take it from the king's storehouse. And I, even I, Artaxerxes the king, now give orders to all keepers of the king's money across the river, that whatever Ezra the priest, the scribe of the law of the God of heaven, may have need of from you, is to be done with all care, up to 100 talents of silver, 100 measures of grain, 100 measures of wine, and 100 measures of oil, and salt without measure. Whatever is ordered by the God of heaven, let it be done completely for the house of the God of heaven, so that there may not be wrath against the kingdom of the king and his sons. In addition, we make it clear to you, that it will be against the law to put any tax or payment in goods or forced payment on any of the priests or Levites, the music makers, doorkeepers, Nethinim, or any servants of this house of God. And you, Ezra, by the wisdom of your God which is in you, are to put rulers and judges to have authority over all the people across the river who have knowledge of the laws of your God, and you are to give teaching to him who has no knowledge of them. And if anyone does not keep the law of your God and the law of the king, take care that punishment is given to him, by death or by driving him from his country or by taking away his goods or by putting him in prison. Praise be to the Lord, the God of our fathers, who has put such a thing into the heart of the king, to make fair the house of the Lord which is in Jerusalem, and has given mercy to me before the king and his government and before all the king's great captains. And I was made strong by the hand of the Lord my God which was on me, and I got together out of Israel chief men to go up with me. Chapter 8. Now these are the heads of families who were listed of those who went up with me from Babylon, when Artaxerxes was king. Of the sons of Phinehas, Gershom; of the sons of Itamar, Daniel; of the sons of David, Hattush; of the sons of Shechaniah; of the sons of Parosh, Zechariah, and with him were listed 150 males. Of the sons of Pahath-Moab, Elienai, the son of Zerahiah, and with him 200 males. Of the sons of Shechaniah, the son of Jahaziel, and with him 300 males. And of the sons of Adin, Ebed, the son of Jonathan, and with him 50 males. And of the sons of Elam, Jeshiah, the son of Athaliah, and with him 70 males. And of the sons of Shephatiah, Zebadiah, the son of Michael, and with him 80 males. Of the sons of Joab, Obadiah, the son of Jehiel, and with him 218 males. And of the sons of Shelemith, the son of Josiphiah, and with him 160 males. And of the sons of Bebai, Zechariah, the son of Bebai, and with him 28 males. And of the sons of Azgad, Johanan, the son of Hakatan, and with him 110 males. And of the sons of Adonikam, the last, whose names were Eliphalet, Jewel, and Shemaiah, and with them 60 males. And of the sons of Bigvai, Uttai and Zabud, and with them 70 males. And I made them come together by the river flowing to Ahava, and we were there in tents for 3 days, and after viewing the people and the priests I saw that no sons of Levi were there. Then I sent for Eleazar and Ariel and Shemaiah and Elnathan, Jarib and Elnathan and Nathan and Zechariah and Meshullam, all responsible men, and for Joarib and Elnathan, who were wise men. And I sent them to Edo the chief at the place Casiphia, and gave them orders what to say to Edo and his brothers the Nethinim at the place Casiphia, so that they might come back to us with men to do the work of the house of our God. And by the help of our God they got for us Ishsechel, one of the sons of Meili, the son of Levi, the son of Israel, and Sherebiah with his sons and brothers, 18, and Hashabiah, and with him Jeshaiah the sons of Merari, his brothers and their sons, 20, and of the Nethinim, to whom David and the captains had given the work of helping the Levites, 220 Nethinim, all of them specially named. Then I gave orders for a time of going without food, there by the river Ahava, so that we might make ourselves low before our God in prayer, requesting from him a straight way for us and for our little ones and for all our substance. For I would not, for shame, make request to the king for a band of armed men and horsemen to give us help against those who might make attacks on us on the way, for we had said to the king, the hand of our God is on his servants for good, but his power and his wrath are against all those who are turned away from him. So we went without food, requesting our God for this, and his ear was open to our prayer. So I put on one side 12 of the chiefs of the priests, Sherebiah, Hashabiah, and 10 of their brothers with them, and gave to them by weight the silver and the gold and the vessels, all the offering for the house of our God which the king and his wise men and his captains and all Israel there present had given, measuring into their hands 650 talents of silver, and silver vessels, 100 talents weight, and 100 talents of gold, and 20 gold basins, of 1,000 darics, and 2 vessels of the best bright brass, equal in value to gold. And I said to them, You are holy to the Lord, and the vessels are holy, and the silver and the gold are an offering freely given to the Lord, the God of your fathers. Take care of them and keep them, till you put them on the scales before the chiefs of the priests and the Levites and the chiefs of the families of Israel, in Jerusalem, in the rooms of the house of the Lord. So the priests and the Levites took the weight of silver and gold and the vessels, to take them to Jerusalem into the house of our God. Then we went away from the river of Ahava on the 12th day of the first month, to go to Jerusalem, and the hand of our God was on us, and he gave us salvation from our haters and those who were waiting to make an attack on us by the way. And we came to Jerusalem and were there for 3 days. And on the 4th day, the silver and the gold and the vessels were measured out by weight in the house of our God into the hands of Meremoth, the son of Uriah, the priest, and with him was Eleazar, the son of Phinehas, and with them were Jozabad, the son of Jeshua, and Nodiah, the son of Binnui, the Levites. All was handed over by number and by weight, and the weight was put on record at that time. And those who had been prisoners, who had come back from a strange land, made burnt offerings to the God of Israel, 12 oxen for all Israel, 96 male sheep, 77 lambs, 12 he-goats for a sin offering. All this was a burnt offering to the Lord. And they gave the king's orders to the king's captains and the rulers across the river, and they gave the people and the house of God the help which was needed.